guys, how are you? Happy to be here. Cecilia Velasquez from Red Latina. We have Julie Jarvis today, and she's going to tell us about something really important with this crazy weather that we are having during all these weeks. So, let me introduce you, our friend, Julie.
Hello.
How are you, Julie?
Oh, good, good.
I'm
Yeah,
glad.
thanks for having me.
Thank you. No, could you tell us a little more what's going on with the nature, the trees? And let me repeat this en Spanish. Soy Cecilia Velázquez, Red Latina. Gracias por estar aquí. Tenemos entrevistando el día de hoy a Julie Jarvis. Ella trabaja para el departamento de San Luis y nos va a dar muy buenos consejos con este calor abrasador en el que estamos todos experimentando y viviendo. ¿Qué debemos hacer para mantener a salvo nuestros árboles? So, okay, go ahead. Let's start with this. Okay. And then, okay, Julie, it's a here. If I knew if the war is going to end it tomorrow, I will still planting a tree today. What do you think about it?
Yeah. So I guess what you said before, we're just having, kind of extreme heat, especially, where I'm located right now is St. Louis, Missouri. We've been hit pretty hard with, 100-degree days. And that can be really stressful for a tree. I mean, newly planted trees and even mature trees. And I guess the most important thing to do and to remember is just watering is a big, big thing. Even with mature trees, I think a lot of people know, okay, yeah, I planted this new tree and I'm going to have to keep it watered. But you even have to look out for your, 70-year-old trees, mature, and trees, you have to water those as well. So that's always important to keep in mind when we're having heat like this.
Bueno, básicamente lo que dice Julie, tenemos en este calor que cuidar a los árboles. Es muy importante que les demos agua. También tenemos que saber qué horarios hay que hacer eso, ¿verdad? Ahorita le preguntamos para que tengamos árboles, porque imagínate, un hombre no planta un árbol para sí mismo, planta un árbol para la posteridad, porque sabe que no va a gozar de su sombra, pero necesitamos tomar conciencia. So basically, could you tell us a little more when we need to start watering them during the day, during the night? I mean,
Yeah, the best time to water is definitely early morning, the cooler times of the day, or even, when it starting to get night as the sun is going down, because if you water when it's real hot outside, moisture might get on the leaves. Several things could happen, but it could just burn up the tree. It actually can do a lot more damage than good. So you definitely want to make sure when it's kind of cooler parts of the day, to water your trees.
uh-huh. And how much water we need to use? What
Well,
does
it definitely differs from tree to tree, but I always like to, you water up against, it's called the drip line of the tree. So, you can, where the leaves are coming down, where the canopy, where it's shaded under the tree, that's where you want to water at. And you just want to make sure it's soaked enough where you can kind of stick your finger down and, feel the moisture where it has, like, it's not just the top layer of the soil, where it actually got down deep.
Ok, cómo se plantan los árboles, qué tan profundamente tenemos que plantar los árboles. What kind of trees, by example, this one is a tree of lemons, and how deep it can be planting?
Well, yeah, so what I go by, I don't know, that might even look a little deep But
Uh-huh.
I usually, err on the side of planting a little bit higher.
Uh-huh.
Usually want the root flare of the tree, where it starts to branch out to the roots. You kind of want that a little bit exposed.
Uh-huh.
So it varies tree to tree, but you want to kind of plant it a little bit higher. Because if you plant it too deep, the roots will start to grow around the tree and eventually will cut off the circulation of the tree, and water won't be
Mm-hmm.
able to move through it. So yeah, and then it's always good to mulch
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
for various reasons. Definitely don't put the mulch up against the trunk. You want to keep that away from the trunk. Like I mentioned before, that also cause girdling roots. Start the roots growing around the trunk. And then it also holds in moisture for when you are going to water it. It will just help hold in that moisture for a
Tenemos
longer period of time.
Ok, depende del tipo de árboles, cómo debemos de plantarlos. Tenemos que mantenerlos húmedos, especialmente pues en estas temporadas, pero es muy importante saber qué tan profundamente se tienen que plantar los árboles. Okay, so the city is helping in any way, giving some seminars or information, providing a website where we need to go and take a look of what to do exactly with the trees?
Yeah, well, Davy.com, they have several resources, a lot of different articles you could read. Pretty much just search anything, and we pretty much have information about the proper trees to plant, how to plant a tree, when to water it, how to water it. So Davy.com, it's a good website.
Okay, baby.com.
Davy, yeah.
Okay. Well, if we, as I mentioned before, the importance of a tree is super important, and the life of a tree, it can be greatest. So, by example, we have here this huge, beautiful tree that
Yep.
how many years do you think this tree can have in life?
Oh, I mean, they can live thousands of years. I mean, it always depends on the tree and the environment. An oak can live hundreds of years in where it's naturally grows, and then in the urban environment, it can maybe live 80 or 100
Uh-huh.
years. So it'll have.
For example, this one is el árbol del tule, the tule tree in Oaxaca, Mexico. They say that it's about 5,000 years. So wow,
Much longer than me and you, and
yeah, for sure.
several different generations. So yeah, it's
Yeah,
amazing.
if you enjoy the beautiful weather as well, and go, we invite you to go the botanical garden, Forest Park, different parks, and enjoy the tree and honor them, because definitely thanks because of them that we have life.
Yeah, they provided us so much. Yeah.
Yeah, this is la ceiba. The ceiba is 1,000 years old. This tree, by example, tiene más de 1,000 años este árbol, por ejemplo. Imagine this one in Yellowstone. How big are those trees? I mean, we need to honor them, and we need to show our kids since beginning of early that how important are trees, ¿no? We need to show them that. Tenemos que enseñarle a los niños a plantar árboles, que son muy importantes. So, do you give away trees here in San Luis if we want to get some?
There is what I'm familiar with for people, there's Arbor Fests that we have. There's little events here and there that we give out seedlings, almost to look like that tree you just had up there.
Uh-huh.
And yeah, there's definitely resources for that.
Yeah,
They'll just give them out for free because we want people to plant trees no matter what, you know. So yeah.
they protect us even from storms, ¿verdad? Isn't it? ¿Verdad que nos protegen inclusive de las tormentas, los árboles? Son muy importantes cuidar de ellos. Imagine if you have a kid and you plant a tree when he just born. I can swear that you will never cut that tree. Don't you think?
Oh yeah. Yeah, I've been to, you know, working around here and talking to my clients. It's always really awesome when, you know, you'll go and you'll see a cool tree on their property, and I'm like, oh wow, this is amazing tree. And then they'll tell me a story of like, oh yeah, I planted that when I first moved here. You know, I got to watch it grow. It's, you know, 50 years old, and they'll know everything about it, and they'll start telling me all the stories. So, you know, trees can be even more important. You know, ecologically, we know that it's important, but it's definitely can be a huge sentimental thing. And yeah.
Of course, son muy importantes para la posteridad. Aquí vemos una imagen. It say in this image that a man does not plant a tree for himself. He plants a tree for posterity, and that is true, because maybe you weren't gonna enjoy the shade of the tree, but we need the tree. We are cultivating life for next generations. How important is a tree? Look at those images. Are not amazing how many animals, people can live and be safely in a beautiful environment under that shade?
Yeah.
It's so,
I mean, even speaking of like a residential property, you know, if you have a large tree in your front yard, it can even save you tons of money on, you know, energy bills just from having that tree. I mean, it just provides so much shade and protection from elements. So.
Bueno, Julie dice que te puede salvar muchísimo dinero un árbol plantado en tu casa porque te puede ahorrar mucho en la energía eléctrica que se gasta. Y todo el mundo se quiere estacionar en la sombra, pero nadie se atreve a plantar árboles en este mundo en el que vivimos. So the image, as you say, yeah, everybody wants to park in the shade, but no one dares to plant trees in the world that we are living in. So we need to start, definitely. Mm-hmm. So the society in the one we are living, a society grows well when people plant trees whose shade they know they will never enjoy. And that's a Greek proverb that is really true, ¿no? Es muy importante que cuidemos de los árboles. And when you save the life of a tree, you simply pay your debt, since we owe our lives to those trees, isn't it?
Yeah.
¿Verdad? And so, Julie, what kind of trees does we have here in San Luis?
Oh, well, we have a lot of trees.
Different trees.
A lot of pin oaks, a lot of maple trees. You know, we still have pines and cedars, you know, but they'll never get really as tall as, you know, some other areas. But we have, I would say, our most impressive species is probably oaks. I mean, they just get really huge here. We have some very impressive oak species.
Hay árboles que crecen demasiado y pueden llegar a lastimar tu casa. There are some trees that they grow so much, too much, that even it can damage your house. So how far we can plant them? ¿Qué tan lejos hay que plantarlos de nuestras casas?
Yeah, planting, you mean you're talking about planting away from the house?
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Yeah, I find that all the time in residential areas where, you know, things will be planted too close to the house. So yeah, when you're planting a tree that, you know, it's really small when it first goes in. It'll fit. I mean, it fits perfectly, but then 20 years down the line, you start looking at it like this is way too big. So yeah, when you're planting a tree, it's different for every tree. I mean, it differs on the species. I mean, so you just have to kind of look at the specs of how tall will it grow and how fast does it grow, and kind of take it from there. But I would err on the side of a little farther away from the house than right next to it. So.
Well, trees are, bueno, lo que dice es que pueden crecer demasiado, entonces hay que saber un poco más sobre los árboles antes de plantarlo para tener buena idea de en dónde, cómo, cuándo podemos plantarlos. Entonces es importante saber eso. Cuando tenemos un árbol cerca, ahorramos energía. Pero, por ejemplo, en este caso, the trees create a friendly climate. Deforestation causes extreme weather, prolongs droughts and floods. That's important to know why we have to have them, ¿no? Es importante saber porque te pueden evitar inundaciones, te pueden evitar que se eleve el bill que tenemos de energía, isn't it? Bueno, I know I'm trying to put together Spanish and English, but I know.
Oh, yeah.
Gracias. We really appreciate it. We need to love trees. Trees are amazing, and when you are too charged of energy, by example, tree bring us relief after dealing with people and all this new technology that we are using. We need to go and hold one of those trees because we are electromagnetic field in our body, and all the time we are with phones, devices, monitors, and we need to ground it and touch the tree, touch the earth, and be in the nature, isn't it? Tenemos que estar cerca de la naturaleza, porque la naturaleza nos ayuda. Estamos con tantas situaciones electrónicas, los teléfonos, las computadoras. Tenemos que abrazar la tierra, abrazar los árboles para descargarnos de ese electromagnetismo en el que nos hemos convertido últimamente por esta sociedad. So, I have people calling, but I need to tell the people that I'm busy in an interview, so I call them back. Sorry, we are trying to do everything. Look at what a beautiful picture. Look at how beautiful can and look having all those trees. And we have rivers close from us, Missouri and Mississippi River, and the confluence. If you go and drive all those beautiful areas around the river, close to Grafton. Have you been there before? No, it's beautiful around there. So
I don't think so.
Mm-hmm. So we need to water the trees during the night. Is better.
Yeah, early morning, and then evening. Kind of when the sun starts going down is the best time, definitely. And just making sure that you're not getting it on the leaves, just around the drip line of the tree where you can get the roots, and give it a good long soak.
Okay, and every night, with this hot weather.
Yeah, I would say maybe at least I would say like 3 times a week, and then just kind of periodically checking, and you can kind of tell when your tree needs water. The leaves will start curling up, and then you kind of want to get it before that happens, but once you start seeing the leaves curling up or browning, you really want to start getting some water on it.
Yes, and how important are the seeds?
The seeds?
Uh-huh.
Seeds make trees, so they're very important.
They are very important. Le estoy preguntando qué tan importantes son las semillas. By example, let me show you this one here. I'm saving all the time.
Yeah.
because from a seed, it can grow a forest. Son sagradas, las semillas son sagradas, hay que cuidarlas, hay que plantar, darles una oportunidad, give them a chance to grow in your place. By example, I have who doesn't enjoy a delicious orange? Well, I'm saving the seed, and maybe this beautiful seed is gonna have someone a gorgeous, delicious orange tree. So our sacred, we need to honor those seeds too.
And the little critters like squirrels play an important role for getting those seeds propagated, and they do their work. And that there comes a tree from those seeds, because sometimes just having the seed itself, if you just put it in the ground, it might not do anything, but you kind of need the other parts of nature, and it all works together to build a forest, I guess.
Sure. And I have a question here. What do you think about all the MGO or modification of the plants, especially the fruits plants? That is horrible. When you open a watermelon, there are no seeds. So what's your thoughts about that? ¿Qué piensas acerca de las modificaciones genéticas que se hacen a los árboles frutales, sobre todo, que cuando la abres una sandía, por ejemplo, ya no tienen semillas? What can you say about it? Can you hear me? You're freezing. Le estoy preguntando. I cannot hear you. No te escucho, Julie. Si nos puedes hablar un poquito de esto. Es bien importante que cuidemos las semillas. Es muy importante que veamos por qué los árboles tienen que ser cuidados, por qué los tenemos que proteger, por qué tenemos que estar siempre protegiendo nuestros árboles. De ahí comemos. Las semillas son muy importantes, que le den chance a un arbolito. Por ejemplo, ahí muestran un tallo. En este tallo, si el sol le da y se expone el tallo, hay que cuidarlo, porque podría sufrir. Mucha gente los puede llegar a pintar de blanco para que refleje el sol, y así no se quemen y puedan crecer estas plantas. Todos necesitamos a los árboles. Es muy importante que cuidemos de ellos, y hay materiales con los que podemos trabajar. Hay materiales que nos sirven muy, muy bien para protegerlos, como el mulch o la paja, y así poder evitar que un arbolito sea dañado. Entonces, si tú tienes cal o tienes pintura de agua, puedes, por ejemplo, aquí lo puedo mostrar, cómo se pinta el tallo del árbol para evitar porque es la parte más frágil. Si alguna vez has visto árboles pintados, no es necesariamente para que se vean bonitos, es para evitar que se lastime el tallo, que es el que se tiene que proteger, al igual que la base. La base es muy importante protegerla con el mulch cuando es invierno, por ejemplo. Entonces, estas son las actividades que tenemos que tener en cuenta. So, as you can see, we can save some trees and help them, painting what's the most important part of the tree, isn't it? Are you there? Could you hear
me? I'm back.
Hey, you're back. You be okay. Yes. So if we paint in white the what's the name of the most important part of the
trunk?
The trunk. We need to paint that in white to reflect the sun, and they can be safe.
I've seen old paint marks on trees before, but I haven't really heard of that practice being used, but not saying that it's wrong or anything. I just don't know much about it. We don't really do that here, so yeah.
Okay, well,
I think that mostly the sun's good for it, but it can, if the tree it doesn't have enough branches, enough shade, there can be some, sun damage. But yeah, I guess I just can't speak too much on that because I'm not as familiar with that there.
but thank you, Julie. Thank you so much for all the information that you provide. So, could you tell us something else to end this interview with you? What kind of work do you guys do in your department, and which one it is?
Yeah, I'm with Davy Tree in St. Louis, Missouri. I'm a sales arborist. So, I'm going to residential areas and, talking to people about their trees on their property. They usually will call us out if they have some sort of problem, if they want, just a tree to be assessed, or, if they're wanting something removed or planted. We'll go out there and kind of help them through and give them suggestions and try to, figure it out for them. But
Wow, because lo que dice Julie me dice, en el departamento de San Luis, lo que hacen ellos es, si necesitas plantar árboles, si necesitas que un árbol sea removido porque está afectando o le puede caer a tu casa, por ejemplo, ellos ayudan en toda esta situación y te dan asesoría para que tú puedas mantener saludables tus árboles. So, by example, if you want to remove a tree, that's really expensive. If you hire a company outside, is super expensive. It can cost you $2,000, by example, remove a tree.
Yeah, it can be even more than that too. But
and you provide that help?
Yeah.
Without any cost?
Oh no.
It's still costing.
Yeah, we are. Yeah, we go out and give bids on jobs, figure out how long it'll take, and then no, not for not for free, but we are involved in some in bigger projects that we are working around the city, and we are providing services to, maybe if you can't afford that tree work, we do that as well. So
Okay.
Yeah.
Bueno, pues como me dice que no es gratis ir a quitar un árbol, tiene un costo, sí, pero ellos pueden darles la información y todo el acceso a que ustedes puedan tener esos árboles cortados porque están dañando probablemente su casa o puedan dañarla, pero hay dinero que da también la ciudad para que ustedes puedan contar con ese servicio. Okay, well, basically it seems like we have all the information that we need, and thank you so much for your time and your help, Julie.
Yeah, thank you. I guess I'll end on saying, hug a tree, get out in nature, and plant trees.
Muchas gracias. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you. Well, pues ya lo vimos, como les estaba mencionando, es bien importante acudir a la naturaleza, estar cerca de los árboles, cuidarlos, darles agua ahorita que tenemos una temporada de calor bastante intensa, estamos arriba de los 100 grados Fahrenheit en muchos estados de Estados Unidos, así que cuidemos de los árboles, cuidemos de las semillas, porque aparte de que nos dan aire, nos pueden dar fruta, nos dan de comer, cuidemos las semillas y di no a la modificación genética, porque de una semilla nace un bosque. Muchísimas gracias. Esto fue todo por hoy. Cecilia Velázquez para Red Latina reportando y saludándole. Thank you so much, everybody, to being here, watching. Share this information and still follow us, and we load daily news in our website, www.redlatinastl.com. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.